As soon as I got out of the exam room, I just was like, oh my god, I passed. I saw a plane. I think it was a Cessna. It was a Cessna, but I don't know what kind. It was like not like a 172 or 150 or maybe the 206. But yeah, that was awesome. Hi everyone, Malik here. I am super excited today to talk to you about how I passed my FAA written exam, the process. I took this test yesterday, so I am very still on like edge or still on cloud 9, if you will. Do you get that? There are gonna be lots of aviation references in this video. I still feel so hype, and I still feel like just almost, it was like a watershed moment, just because I literally first flew a plane 5 years ago, and then to be at this point now in this crazy insane year, and to have like had the time to really study and really go hard on studying for this exam, and then just to do it, I just feel like I'm so much closer to that dream of getting my private pilot's license. First off, I want to say that I studied for this test for a year and a half to 2 years. I feel like there's a point in studying for this exam that you have to get really serious. That you have to say, okay, this is what I want, and I need to literally every single night be just like looking at this textbook or doing a practice test or something. The reason that I wanted to take my written test before I really got serious about flight training was because I knew that it was going to be more expensive if I ever needed to stop flight training to pass this exam. So I really wanted to get it out of the way, and that's what I had heard was like really, really good. If you just get this test out of the way and then you start flight training, then it'll be a little bit more like economical, and you will, I guess, go in knowing a lot of stuff, which is really cool. I feel almost like a pilot having like never like even landed an aircraft. Oh, that cumulus cloud over there, little things that you're just like, I know that. I think there were really 3 stages that helped me pass the exam. Before even that though, I think just knowing I loved aviation, knowing I wanted to be in this, knowing it's a passion of mine, like a huge passion of mine. And then in terms of the actual test, the first step was getting the Sportys online Learn to Fly course. I'm just gonna like pop that up because the Sportys course is just super helpful. Really, it just has all of these different volumes. So the first is your first few hours, then practicing landings, then your solo, then your cross country, and then your private pilot test, like taking you through the entire process before you even do it, if you do this before you actually get serious about flight training. I first went through all of these videos, which is what took me so long, I think, because I went through all these videos. Every time I was watching a video, I would take notes, unless it was like, they have things in here that are just like closer look and like air facts, like random stuff that I didn't take notes on those, but the bulk of the videos is actually information and stuff you need to know. So I would take notes on all of those videos on Google Docs, and I made separate folders for each volume. I like things on digital, so for me it was like better, and it would have been a lot of notes if I had taken, like it would have been a lot of paper, I think, if I had taken it on a real notebook. But if you feel like that's going to be better for you, don't hesitate to do that. Once I finished all of the volumes, I started trying to take a practice test, and I just realized like I am in no shape to take a practice test. And that's when I did a lot of research, and I realized that I needed the Gleim textbook. The second step for me was doing this entire book. The Private Pilot FAA Knowledge Test Prep book from Gleim. This is the 2021 edition, so I am like a year ahead. So I just recommend getting the latest edition just so you can have the latest things that they know could be on the exam. I decided to just try to like answer the questions. The way the book is done is that you'll have information at the front of a chapter, so like it'll tell you study unit 1, and then you'll have all the information for that unit that's going to be in the quiz for that unit. All the charts, everything you're going to need is in here. So yeah, it's just kind of like a unit test in a way. So what I would try to do is cover up the answers on this side, and then and I'm pretty sure I got that from Swain Martin, just cover up the answers on this side, of the book with a piece of paper and then answer the questions and then lift the paper up and see what you got right. Also, as you can see at the top, graded myself, so I got an 81. This book seemed so intimidating to me that I just wanted to go straight and answer the questions, but I would recommend reviewing that little brief thing before each unit test. The greatest thing about this book is that there are explanations, right? So when you get something wrong, it tells you why. And that's so important, because if you know why you got it wrong, you are, I think, less likely to get it wrong, right? You'll be able to differentiate, right, between the different things because you're able to see why you got it wrong. The other thing I would say is make sure you get a plotter for this book. I live in New York, can you tell? Then you have to bring your own plotter for the test, so make sure you get one. Then you have the E6B. I got an electronic one from Sportys. Again, I really think that I would have struggled using the paper one, although I must say the only thing is that all of the explanations in this book for like the E6B questions that you need to use an E6B for, is for the manual paper E6B, the non-electronic ones. You are gonna have to look up how to use this. And that was really challenging. If you play around with it, I think you'll figure it out, to be honest. Once you understand everything on here, GS's ground speed, like all those little things, leg time, all that, you'll be able to sort of figure out any question. But I think that that was a struggle in the beginning because I was like, I don't know how to use this and I have to in order to answer the question, and the book doesn't explain how to use the electronic one. And then I went back to Sportys. I'd literally just practice test. I'm pretty sure there's a week, like every other day, every day, like as much as I could taking practice tests. And once you reach an 80% on 2 practice tests, you can get the endorsement to take the test from Sportys. They'll have a CFI sign it, and then you'll be granted permission to take the test, and you can sign up for the test in your area, which is so cool. As soon as I got 2 practice tests on Sportys higher than 80%, I requested the endorsement. You have to have completed the online course too. You have to have 100% in completing the videos and all of that, and those come with quizzes and stuff, so really make sure that you're doing those during that first step. Then I went on and signed up for my tests, and I made it 2 weeks out from that day. Yeah, 2 weeks out from that day. So by the time I took the test, I was getting above, like I had gotten over a 90 on at least, on 2. I had gotten over a 90 on 2 practice tests. So like that's what you want to do. I wouldn't say as soon as you get above an 80, even if you're getting 88s, 87s, like high grades like I was in the 80s, I would make sure that you are getting 90s before you go take the test. Because there is a chance on the test that you will get 5% lower than you usually would. And if you were getting 85, getting an 80 is not as cool. You know what I mean? Just know that that test drop is there just because you might be anxious for the test. You might be feeling a type of way. A week before my actual test date is when I decided to take the test, the practice test in the back of here, and I got an 88. So the practice test in the back of here, I just thought it would be more like the FAA exam, but this to me was way easier than Sportys. Sportys was hard. Like the questions in Sportys really grills you on, you know, true course, leg time, magnetic heading, magnetic course, all of that, which this book, this practice test was good, but it was much easier to me. Like I wasn't as scared on it. And I got a pretty good grade. I got a really good grade, I think. So Gleim also offers a online practice test thing. So after I took this test, I was like, oh my god, I want to take more Gleim tests. And I think it's $60 for that. And if you've already paid for Sportys, $200 for that course, after you've already paid for the book, do not go buy their online test prep if you're already taking Sportys practice tests. Like I don't think you need. The actual FAA exam you take on a computer. So I actually felt super comfortable taking all those practice tests online because it was like when I got there, it was like, oh, this just feels like another Sportys practice test. Just this one's like literally from the FAA. My third phase of preparing for the test was talking to a pilot. And if you buy like an actual ground school course from a flight school, then you might not need this step. Since I had done this on my own without being inside an aircraft, I haven't flown in over a year. There were questions, there were certain things, the crosswind component graph, the distance landing graph, things I just could not get for the life of me. Application of all the theory you're learning actually in the airplane, actually in the air. So since I wasn't having that, I was like, I need to talk to a pilot. I would recommend, I'm sure if you're watching this, you probably have friends in the aviation industry. I know a lot of people do. If not, find some. I might be one. I'm definitely not a CFI though. Even if you have to pay for an hour with someone, I think it might be better than just going in there not knowing to get the questions that you really need to understand. And we did more than that, and thank God he didn't charge me, just a great pilot and friend who works for JetBlue. Just repping the fam. I love my blue so much. If you've done all these things, I think you will feel comfortable going in for the exam. You should not feel like, oh no, I don't know what to do. Oh gosh, I'm gonna screw up. You should feel confident enough that you are going to walk out of there passing. If you can study hardcore over a school break, whether that's the summer break, or I think Swain Martin, when he was taking his in his blog, he wrote that he used the winter holiday break. If you can use a break from school to do it, it's going to be super beneficial for you. Even if you're studying a little, you know what I mean? Study as much as you can during school. But I think it's hard to actually feel like you're really devoting so much time to it when you have a ton of classes. So of course everyone's situation is going to be different with that. I honestly have no clue if I'm allowed to share it. Here it is. I did it. I got an 85, if anyone wants to know. I feel like I should reveal. I got an 85, so do be aware of that 5 to 10% drop. I can't wait to take flight training and just really hustle on it this fall, so I'm really excited. The last thing I want to share that kind of helped me was sort of manifesting a good grade and manifesting passing this test, which clearly worked, but I didn't necessarily get the grade I wanted or the grade I was manifesting. I got that on a practice test, but I do think that, sort of praying and really believing that you are worthy, that you can do this. And you can, believe me, you can. I don't know, someone's told you that STEM is not for you or something like that, like STEAM, I guess, for aviation. You can do it. So even if it seems hard, I've done terrible in math classes and yet was able to do this. So I just really recommend that you manifest it, pray, like all of those things can really, I think, help you in just knowing, that you can do this. Finding friends in aviation, just surrounding yourself with it. It's not that hard. It's just a lot of information. Try your best, do as well as you can, and hey, as long as you, really give it your all and you try really hard, you're gonna do amazing. So I cannot wait to hear all the good scores you all get. Leave them in the comments below. I hope that this helped some of you, and I really am excited to be flying super soon. So I cannot wait to take you with me. Be sure to subscribe if you're not already. Give this video a thumbs up if this was a little helpful, gave you some tips. I am sending you all the fly vibes, because we gotta be like a plane up in this piece. Thank you so much. I'm very excited. I will see you on Sunday.